Oh, howdy world, Hippy Trev here, and we're going to call this the saga of the Speedo, and it continues. Damn it. Roll the intro.
Hi, Hippy Trev here, and welcome to my channel. Hope you get something out of it.
Righto world, so yeah, so much for my wind fail yesterday. I've actually had to go back to the Speedo that actually came with this bike. It doesn't fit this dash, that's why this is sitting all shitty and everywhere. Doesn't sit down on there properly. I have made a clearing here, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but I did take a bit of bloody paint off there when I lowered this back down again. So this teardrop air cleaner is, I love it. The bike feels heaps better with it, but it's just not fitting properly. But anyway, we got other issues to deal with other than that. And the foam hand grips, some little Harley things on. I'm loving these hand grips, they just feel so good. So we're back at this Speedo Sarga again. I did a Speedo check, like had the phone sitting up in here. 70 miles an hour, or just under 70 mile an hour, is 100 Ks. Here in Australia, our limits are 100k open road, unless you're on a big open highway, 110, which is about 62 miles an hour. Then you got your 80k zones, which is around your 50 miles an hour, and then you got your down to your 60k zone, which should be about 35 miles an hour, and then of course your school code, and then of course your school zones after that. So basically we've got 60 mile an hour should be, or 61, 62 mile an hour should be open 100k limit. Well, I'm up here to get my 100Ks, but the minute I top 70 or a bit over, the speed just jumps straight up to 110, 115. So as long as I'm hovering around the 70, anytime I go a little bit over that, all of a sudden I've banged up heaps. My 50 miles an hour is about there, and my 35 miles an hour, which is your 60k zone, is about there. So, but the trip meter does actually work on this one. It's dodgy as shit. I've just got it glued in there and working, but as you can see, it just, I took the Speedo out for a reason. And when I first got the bike, it had a kilometre sticker on there, and that actually stuck the sticker sideways. So when it said I was doing 100 Ks, I was only doing 50 miles an hour as well. So like, I've never liked that Speedo, and it doesn't fit that dash. The dash that belongs to is that is a big long chrome one, which I hated because every time the sunlight hits, like blam. So anyway, so a quick run down to where we are here. So I turned a working Speedo that was working, although the trip meter wasn't. And there's the trip meter and the screws and the bushes. And I have managed to lose one of those clips, but this one's buggered anyway. But I found this, the real problem with this was down in here. I don't know if you can see down in here. Down in here, they've got these two plastic gears, and the green one was completely chopped out. It was just stuffed. So, and then I couldn't, and then that's why I wasn't able to reset the trip. And of course, as I was riding, it was just spinning all the numbers over in one. So it wasn't just turning the white those white ones and then going all the way through. It just turned everything as one solid cluster. And then none of that, I wasn't also, because of this bloody gear in there, the way that was set up, I was not able to reset the trip meter anyway. So that's the back of it. Cheap Taiwanese shit is exactly what I call that stuff. So, I mean, I did like the face. It also had a broken glass, so same thing. When I pulled that apart, Speedos are pretty easy to pull apart. You've just got to take your time. Now, this is the Speedo I bought off Darren that was working when I left, and by the time I got halfway down into New South Wales, I mean, it was a bit of an ugly Speedo, as you can tell, but it was, you know, it was working, and the trip meter was absolutely dead accurate on this one. Easy to spin over, easy to reset the 000, and this was dead accurate, like mile to mile. It was 100% perfect, but the needle was sort of like itching up to around here, and then I realised it was sort of like nearly 70 mile an hour for my 100, and by the time I'd been down in Vic riding around with Pete and Ray, the the Speedo was like sitting on here, 100 mile an hour there, 90 mile an hour there, just for my 100 Ks. The needle was just going all the way around. Now, this is not a cheap Taiwanese Speedo. This is probably Harley made, I believe. Now, do I destroy this Speedo? I mean, do I destroy this Speedo? What I can do is pull the back off, which is you just got to go around and lift all this up. Just got to be careful. You just lift all that up and then it comes out. Pop that needle off and put that face in there. I kind of like it, and I've got the needle there for it there. That's that one there. So I messaged Darren yesterday about the Speedo. He said, "Oh, that's okay, mate. Bring it back for some credit." Well, I had to message him today and said, "Yeah, there won't be no credit on this Speedo. What I've done trying to fix it is actually completely destroy it. So I've sort of done me dough on it, but that's just the way it goes." So yeah, I'm starting to think what I might do. Just go around here, peel all this up. Then all I've got to do is pop the needle off, undo those two screws in there. And then I can change it and put this face on and just put it all back together. I think I'd like to do that, and then maybe just have a look in there and see if there's any way I can make that. So you can do that. You can feel a bit of resistance. You can feel that in the, there's again. So you can actually, it's not working. So you can actually feel a nice bit of resistance there. And I bet if I take the glass off that, I will not be feeling that nice bit of resistance. So, do I bite the bullet? This is the big question. Do I bite the bullet and set about destroying this Speedo just to put this face on there and opening up and see what I can find inside? But yeah, this is just cheap Chinese, Taiwanese shit. You can tell it's just poorly made. Or do I just put this one back in the bike because I don't like that other Speedo? I do think I need to look inside here. There's not much to it, see. I do need to open this up and see if I can find out why there's not enough resistance. There is a spring down in there. I don't know if there's any adjustment on those springs or however any of this works. I think we go to work and we pull this off and see how we go. Rightio, I'm going to bite the bullet and we're going to have a go about lifting this up. Glass is out. Give that a good clean too. Right. Let's see what the resistance on this is. Let's have a bit of a look, shall we? Enjoyed your ride today, Paul. It was good to see you out and about riding around, mate. I really enjoyed that. So, what is the difference in here to that one? Well, for a start, those aren't buggered. They click over so nice. Alright, I suppose can I pop this needle off? I can wreck this one either. There we go, needle's off. Hope I don't wreck this one. I would be very pissed off if I did. Yeah, don't touch anything. Some numbers there. And that's your trip meter. That's what you got to hook your. That's what I've been using. I'll show you what I've been using. I've been using these wall plugs, and what I've been doing is I've just been slipping them in over that, and then gluing the other thing to that, and then put a little bit of glue on that, and there's my trip meter. What happened with this one? You put it on there. Now the trip meter's gone now because it's in there. So you put that on there. And it just wouldn't move. It was just fucking frozen solid. It was fucked, obviously. So that's what I've been using to make my trip meters work. All right, well, no, that one. I cannot see anything in there that would make. I don't know how you'd recalibrate that. I really have no idea. The resistance, I can feel resistance on that one, I can't feel resistance on that one. I don't think I can do anything to make this better. So with that in mind, at least I can give it a nice face. So, and even the numbers are somewhat different in a different spot. But in one way it doesn't really work in my favour. The 6 should be there. Alright, let's put it together. So it is still the Sarga of the bloody Speedo. That hasn't changed. There's that other one over there, it's toast. There's just nothing I can do for it. Oops. Might give that a nice clean as well. Oh, it doesn't look too dirty. I mean, I could have used that needle. I could have used that needle. But I'm going to go with this one because I reckon it looks heaps better. Let's see if we can get that on without breaking anything. Now that's something I could do. I I could move this needle like down to there. I could do that. Put this in the bike, alright, with no glass. Put this in the bike with no glass, run it till I get to exactly where my 100 miles an hour is. Oh, sorry, my 100 k's is. So if it's sitting there for 100, I could set it, I could just move this needle all the way down to here, and then just till it sits there. As long as I know where my 100k is, nothing else matters. I think we're going to do that. I'm going to leave the glass off. I'm going to leave the glass off this, put it on the bike, test run it, get it to where the 100 k's is, set the needle at that point at 100 k's by moving it one way or the other, and then I'll have an accurate speedo with an accurate trip meter. That's what I'm going to do. Rightio. I love the idea. I think it's a great idea. What about you guys? Do you think it's a great idea, or do you think it's a stupid idea? I think it's a great idea. Because this trip meter was easy to work and was dead accurate as far as mile for mile. This trip meter was absolutely dead accurate. When when I'd run my Ks out between towns and all that, I knew I could rely on this trip meter to be 100%. That trip meter having that speedo up there, I don't know. I may have to pull that speedo apart and have a look, and I don't know. Oops, sorry. Righty, well, so I'm on the bike, so I've got the speedo in, no trip meter, there's no dashboard, nothing. I've got the phone set up here, so we're going to go out, we're going to find where 100k is, and we're going to set our needle at 62 miles an hour at exactly 100k. So it'll be interesting to see where 60 mile an hour is on this dash. Sorry, well, yeah, 60 mile an hour, 100k. Well, 62 mile an hour is your 100k. Alright, let's go. God. It's already running way faster than I'm going. Let's go find our 100k. That's where the speedo is sitting to get 60 mile an hour or 62 mile an hour at 100k, but we don't care. Let's go for another run and see if we can duplicate that. 40 mile an hour, yep.
fucking massive downpour last night, in the middle of the night, to get up and close all the bus windows. And we certainly don't mind because the grass could still do with some more rain here, even after all the rain we've had. We'll do a bit more. All right. Rightio worlds, well, there is always a way around something if you're prepared to look and try and find it. I'm just going to straighten that up a bit too. So I've got the Speedo actually working to a point that, it'll actually tell me when I'm doing, I got the Speedo to a point where it's actually going to tell me when I'm doing about my 100 Ks or there, about close enough. I've got my 50 mile an hour worked out for my 80 Ks. I'm pretty sure I've got my 35 worked out for my 60 Ks. It's not the right way of doing things, but you know, whatever you can make work. So, rightio world, I'll catch you back out in the desk when we try and get all this glass back in, and hopefully don't move this needle around anywhere. So, rightio, we'll catch you later. Bye.
Rightio worlds, we're back. So that's how the Speedo looks now. Also, where's my little ready thing I've lost? To make my trip meter work. Sometimes they don't always work. There we go. Now to get the glass on. What we might do is give that a bit of a clean too. Rightio. Let's get our glass in, hopefully. Without any dramas. Shouldn't be. That's it. Right, we're going to try something a bit different. No, that didn't work. I normally use a punch, a flat punch. I want to try it. There you go. That's how you fix a Speedo, Hippy Trev style. Rightio, I'm going to go and mount this on the bike and see how we go and see if I make this trip meter work. So rightio, we will catch you later. Rightio worlds, I'm back. So anyway, Speedo's in the bike. Hang on, just move this, sorry. Rightio, so the Speedo's in the bike, and as you can see the needle's pointing there, but at least when I get to 100 Ks the needle's pointing up there at 62 miles an hour, which it needs to be. Now, as you can see here, this dash is a little bit sunken in there. I'm going to tighten on that a bit more. And the reason for that is because I've had to lift this side of the tank up. No, that's tight. So yeah, the reason that's all sunken in there like that is because I've had to lift this side of the tank up so I get enough clearance in. I've already chewed a hole in the tank where I dropped it before. I'll be paying very close attention to that. So anyway, speedo's in, it's as accurate as I can get it. And of course the next thing is to run out my trip meter and make sure my trip meter's working, like against the known distance that I have to travel. And well, that's the speedo I had in there that was playing up with, had all the flames over it. So I've changed that, put the nicer face on, put the nicer needle on. So the trip meter was accurate all the way anyway, so that shouldn't have changed. And that should be it. So all right, worlds, how to rebuild a speedo when you've got no other option, Hippy Trev style. So for everyone else, yep, you know the drill. Stay safe, keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll catch you later. Bye.